Clevatess is heading to where Belite's soldiers are. Meanwhile, Maynard is just there at the bar, making threats. Luna is crying a lot, and the situation is tough for Nelu. The military mage keeps pinning Nelu to the wall with the iron bed. Nelu asks how she got there on the second floor out of nowhere. Naya says she controls magnetism, so she flew by riding an axe and controlling it up to the second floor. So, she wants to test Luna with a crazy candy that shows the talents of whoever eats it. If Luna has magical talent, her eyes change color. If not, she coughs blood until she bites the dust. This is just too crazy, so much that Nayas starts forcing the candy down Luna's throat, and then Nelu can't take it anymore and explodes in anger, pushing the iron bed and breaking the bedroom wall. Meanwhile, Alicia deals with the giant centipede and goes to help Nelu. Maynard finally recognizes her. Alicia gets to the room and finds out it was Nelu who wrecked everything and knocked out the military mage. Now the two need to flee and protect Luna until Klein gets back. Giant bugs show up, and Alicia jumps next to Nelu and takes out the ugly bugs around them. That said, they run and Naya can't reach them with her axe. She didn't understand a thing. How can a regular woman like Nelu have so much strength? Alicia and Nelu manage to run without the bugs chasing them. But upon reaching the forest, there's a blockade full of these disgusting creatures. Alicia can't use her dragonfly technique too many times, so they need to find a safe spot to keep Luna. Okay, cause that's their priority. Meynard. Totally underestimated. Alicia tells everyone in the bar, and Naya, that she's one of the 13 heroes of Hayden. He met her the day General Drell fought her dad in a humble village. He knows a hero wouldn't travel with a normal baby. Things just got real, and the big boss will want to play with his targets. So Maynard gathers all the townsfolk in the main square. But the citizens aren't happy with this Belite invasion, even though Maynard tries to sweet-talk them, saying they're there to protect them from magical beasts, like Clevatess, who might come back and destroy more human territory. The people aren't really buying it, until Maynard talks about Alicia, one of the 13 heroes who's around, and says it's all her fault what's happening. If they were already blaming the heroes anyway, now people will really listen and do what Maynard asks. He tells everyone to go out for the hero hunt. Meanwhile, at the Merrill River in Hayden territory, Drell and his army are crossing the river to the capital Hitter. So Drell tells the enemy to reveal himself and stop playing games or he'll come get him. With that, the soldier from Esslin Road uses his treasure frost flower and freezes the river, immobilizing Belite's army. Mikkel and the other soldiers from Esslin arrive to start the attack against Belite. The surprise attack is working. These guys set up a genius plan so 6,000 men could handle 50,000. Drell says that Rhodey's ice treasure couldn't freeze the whole river at once, so he must have positioned several mages upstream to cool the water to just above freezing. That's true, but nothing stops Rhodey from continuing to fight. But Drell grabs his sword and defends himself. So Drell goes on the attack and says this plan and Rhodey's strength aren't enough. No matter how much potential he draws from his treasure, he doesn't have the strength to break free from the world's bindings. Then Drell uses some crazy power and summons a beast's claw and attacks. The move is called Deadly Dragon Claws. Mikkel and some soldiers run to help Commander Rhodey. Drell explains he fused magic with his treasure, the Black Dragon, making it ascend to something that transcends a sword. He destroys everything and everyone. Doesn't matter if ally or enemy, saying if someone is too weak to die from a basic move of his, they have no right to advance beyond this world. The guy is spouting some nonsense, so much that Rhodey isn't understanding his ramble. Drell wants to destroy the tradition of the hero's legend. Because of it, they always lose to opponents using techniques they don't understand. Thus, they'll remain trapped in this world forever. So, when Drell is leaving like it's nothing, Clevatess of the Moonlight appears overwhelmingly. The beast means business and emanates an aura. His howl alone causes a huge gust and pressure worthy of the king of the southern magical beasts. The beast's speech impresses the knights. Clevatess wants to know about Drell, who already draws his sword. And the Southern King wants to know about the magic he uses, and demands explanations, because this has to do with the disappearance of magical beast pups. Anyone who messes in his territory needs to be ended. Drell isn't too scared and gets pierced by Clevatess, but doesn't seem too surprised. So he uses his trap and activates a magic to seal using a blood prison by exploding his own body, trapping Clevatess inside a blood sphere. Then Drell regenerates completely from the sword, because it is his life now. He says Clevatess won't escape this sealing magic easily, so General Belite orders his troops to advance. Meanwhile, Alicia and Nelu run through the forest looking for shelter, and the townspeople are looking for them. The townsfolk show up where Alicia, Nelu, and Luna are. There's nowhere else to run. These guys are pissed and blame Alicia for all the bad stuff that happened to them, saying being a hero is nothing. They just take out some magical beasts and think they're the greatest. Nelu tells Alicia that she is special because she's only alive thanks to her. Alicia doesn't care about the insults and says Nelu and Luna have to protect themselves. That's the focus. Since there's no way out, Alicia knew this would happen. The dad of the pickpocket brothers shows up with their mom and tells everyone to stop this immediately. They're not setting anyone on fire. They don't have to do what Belit's mages say. That's why some men are watching the mages in the central square. Not that it'll help much if they decide to make a move, right? The boss wants to talk to Alicia to check her character. Alicia goes and tells him about the fight with Clevatess and what happened to her magic sword. So the boss chills out because he knows she's not some greedy hero who sold her treasure and ran from her duty. The blame is really on the king who sent the 13 heroes to fight a king of the magical beasts. He asks Alicia if she saw what's beyond the mountain of the moon, what the view was like. Was it worth going through all the terror of Clevatess? Alicia remembers she saw the real world for a second. It's round with an endless horizon. She says it was totally worth it, because it makes you realize how tiny everyone is compared to the vastness of the world. So then, the bug mage shows up at the meeting and attacks. Alicia goes after the giant centipede and tells the people to hide in the cabin. The boss is hurt and needs to be carried. The bugs surround everything and everyone, while Alicia has to deal with these disgusting creatures. Maynard thinks it's wonderful. She's staying behind to fight, but she'll have problems if she ignores the smaller bugs, because the poison will spread all through Alicia's body, especially a spider venom that destroys blood. Maynard reveals his story, from when he was a kid and lost everything he had, and not a single hero ever came to save him or offer any help. His elderly neighbors did more for him than any hero ever did. To Maynard, heroes are just useless decorations. So the only ones who can actually do anything are people like General Drell and himself. Clevatess calls out to Alicia and tells her to finish this already, because he's got things to do. After being swallowed and buried by a bunch of bugs, Alicia raises her treasure and now can counterattack. Since all living things are made of water and bugs are no exception, the flow-dividing sword wrecks the insects. Alicia devastates everything in her path, sending Maynard flying and finishing off all the bugs in the town. Now the people believe Alicia is a true hero. Maynard is screwed now, but says he won't surrender, so he gets pistol-whipped with a sword and takes a nap. Alicia passes out from exhaustion and Klein catches her and says he took too long. He needs Alicia and Nelu to come with him. General Drell is apparently getting help from another king of the magical beasts. Princess Tala of Hayden tells them to hurry up evacuating the people. She wants to know if there were any survivors in the castle. The servant says they didn't find anyone. Tala is sure her son Hadel, the sixth, is alive. An old lady arrives and tells the princess to take shelter somewhere safe, because now she'll have to rule in her father's place. Tala says she can't do that while her son is alive somewhere. Her certainty comes from when she saw the royal forge of Hayden. Since it was still shining like a living fire, it means her son, the next king, is definitely alive. So the top priority is to find the baby and protect him at all costs. Tala regrets not being able to stay with her little one when the crisis hit. She knew something would happen, because she had a vision that the heroes wouldn't be enough. Tala puts on her armor ready for battle against Belit and takes the king's hammer used for forging the treasures. So then, Belit's army arrives, destroying the walls and marching without any mercy. The citizens in the town where Alicia and the others are captured. The remaining Belit mage, she was caught pretty as if there's no iron around. Naya is just a regular girl. Alicia wants to know what Drell's connection to the magical beasts is, but apparently Naya doesn't get it. Klein is sure that a king of the magical beasts is backing Drell, which complicates things. And Klein isn't keen on dealing with the challenge of whichever king it is. Naya escapes from them, thinking she was owning them by taking Luna with her to Belit. But it was all a plan by Alicia and the others, so Naya would lead them to General Drell, with one of the treasures pointed at the mage. She accepts defeat and takes them there without trouble. As they leave, the people thank the hero, Alicia, and ask her to save their kingdom. Klein notices she's now happy about doing something heroic. Nelu was surprised by Alicia's strength and that Luna is actually a baby from the royal family of Hayden, and gets worried if she's fit to carry him, cause Nelu thinks her blood is dirty and not worthy of carrying a member of Hayden's royal family. Klein doesn't get this human status thing for defining someone's importance, cause in the world of magical beasts, strength is what defines your relevance. And Nelu is way stronger than any regular human. The group arrives on the battlefield, and Alicia is looking for Drell and finds him. Princess Tala orders the attack on Drell, but it doesn't do much, but she goes on with her plan. However, the general disappears and reappears with a magic strike. Alicia arrives from the skies, seeking to avenge her father. Tala uses this moment of Drell's distraction to break his treasure, but it doesn't work. The two treasures clash, and the fight begins. Drell says the daughter of the master swordsman is too weak and has no business on the battlefield. Klein wants to take Luna to open the door to the royal forge area. Soldiers were guarding the place, but a shadow absorbs them out of nowhere, and it doesn't seem like it was Klein's doing. Luna touches a panel to open the door. Gart, Zavit's servant, gets to where Clevatess's fake body is trapped and feels a huge power from the ball and doesn't get why he doesn't break out. Gart gives it a strong kick and it does nothing. Commander Rhodey shows up and says Drell is attacking Hayden's capital and asks the magical beast for help to take him to the battle. Gart says he saw Rhodey losing to the enemy. What does he think he'll do differently? But Rhodey doesn't care about that. He needs to stop Bolete from getting to Hayden's royal forge to prevent something terrible from happening. Rhodey says Drell is trying to use magic to change the world, which sparks Gart's interest, and he remembers Zavit's words about a bad omen. So he agrees to help Rhodey, on the condition that he helps him and doesn't ask anything about him. Rhodey agrees, but he can't do anything that betrays the kingdom of Eslan. So he grabs the bird's leg and they fly to Hayden. Luna's little hand didn't do anything to open the door, not even sitting on it. Then the baby poops his diaper and Nelu has to clean him. Klein tells the two to wait while he tries to get in from above. With the forge's heat level, a common magical beast would burn up. Good thing Klein is the king of the south. Some strange guy arrives and scares Nelu and Luna. Klein had to hide in the shadow of a special brick to not melt near the forge. The whole thing is next level. Then he sees Nelu fallen on the ground and comes face to face with the headless king of Hayden holding Luna. Now things got really weird. Man. Meanwhile, Alicia continues the fight against General Drell, who says she doesn't even compare to her father. Her weakness is an insult. Then, Drell tells Alicia that he and her father were classmates from the same swordsmanship school and tells her how he got the title of Dragonslayer and how Alicia's father abandoned the path to becoming a hero. It all started 25 years ago, in the capital of Eslan. Drell and Margot fought in a tournament to see who would win the treasure from the King of Hayden. In the end, Margot won and got the sword. Drell knew Margot was a great prodigy and beloved by the sword. The treasure works in a peculiar way. It was still incomplete and needed to be finished by the user. The first magical beast killed by it would have its soul absorbed by the treasure, thus making it something unique. So Margot needed to think very carefully before using his new sword. So he called Drell to gather an expedition force to eliminate a northern dragon. Drell said that was crazy, because they're incredibly strong monsters that are servants of Orden, the king of the northern magical beasts. However, he ended up accepting, but it didn't take long to discover this was a mission way harder than normal. The whole group was wiped out, leaving only Margot and Drell. Still, with their skills combined, Margot got close to finishing off a northern dragon. Drell believed for a moment that Margot was capable of defeating such a creature, but fate played a trick on them. All the force gathered in Margot's attack was ruined by a stone he tripped on during the strike's trajectory. So the dragon took advantage of Margot's moment of imbalance and cut his leg off. Thus, his journey to become a hero came to an end. But without hesitating, he threw the sword to his friend Drell, who took the chance and eliminated the dragon. So the Hayden treasure absorbed the power of the defeated beast. Then a big, different red dragon arrived. This was the Northern King Vorden, who was impressed by the human who defeated a dragon. Moments later, Drell woke up in a puddle of blood inside a huge footprint. That day, Drell knew true terror. Afterwards, Margot moved on with his life, and Alicia knows the rest of her father's life. Drell tells her that even after being called a Dragonslayer, his doubts didn't go away. They became certainties. The legend of the heroes who would defeat the kings of the magical beasts is all a lie to manipulate everyone. The secret is hidden within Hayden's royal family. More specifically by the king's. Magic is the source for all the answers Drell seeks. So he summons a big skeleton dragon using necromancy and wrecks the place, making Alicia fall from the wall. Drell leaves and Alicia is on the ground, all busted up, but regenerates thanks to the magical blood. Klein finds it interesting that the headless king is about to throw his own grandson into the forge. Even without knowing the reason for it, Princess Tala meets up with Alicia because she needed to talk to her. The princess finds out only Alicia survived Clevatess's rage. Even so, all help is welcome. Drell is wreaking havoc and Hatterat's forces can't handle that much power, especially with his powerful magic. So, Alicia tells Tala that her son is alive, the boy with pure Hydenian blood. Tala gets super emotional hearing this and asks where he is right now. Alicia answers that one of her companions took him to the royal forge, so the two head off to get Luna. The headless king opens the royal forge that burns anything that gets too close. Klein stops him from throwing the kid into the forge, because he doesn't think that's normal behavior for a grandpa. But the king says his body is moving against his will, because everything happens as the forge desires. All the kings of Hayden since ancient times are burned and reborn from the forge's ashes to fulfill its will. Normally the appointment happens for the whole kingdom to see, and the next king's true name is written in the forge, so that the person can't disobey its desire. Publicly, Luna is known as Hadel VI, but his real name is Tot. Since his name wasn't engraved in the forge, the kid can't throw himself in, so the king's body will perform this act. He throws the child so he can be reborn as a king. Of course, Klein predicted all this and saved Luna. What the headless king threw into the fire was the baby's shadow. Now that he failed, his body throws itself along with his head into the royal forge. thus getting incinerated. The forge starts coming to life and tries to burn Klein and Luna, but it's useless against his shadow powers. Klein asks for the master of the forge to show himself already. Drell is instructed by Vorden to hurry up and go to the forge. Rhodey arrives at the battle with his ice javelin. Gart will watch from afar to see how all this ends. Alicia and Rhodey need to join forces to have any chance against a Drell buffed by the power of a magical beast king. Even though the two are talented with their treasures, that only applies to human standards. Drell passed that limit a long time ago, so he sends the two flying and has the advantage in the battle. Rhodey and Alicia come up with a plan and she manages to cut Drell in half, but it's no use. Drell assumes a new form, something too grotesque to be called human. He says there's no way the hero legend can come true. It's beyond the human species' capacity. The true humans who ruled the earth in ancient times disappeared long ago. All they left were stupid legends, so everything related to the legends needs to disappear, and for that Drell doesn't care how. Many need to bite the dust. Klein discovers this truth from the Forge Master. He's never seen or remembers these so-called true humans. All he sees in front of him is the Book of Toa. It was this object that triggered all of this, sending heroes to impossible battles against kings of magical beasts, killing kings so they'd be reborn from the ashes and fulfill the Forge Master's will. With that, Klein is incredulous and decides to abandon Luna right there and go back to his mountain. He's tired of this. The Book of Toa could very well be a magic left by these true humans. Klein walks out of the forge and leaves Luna crying there alone. Man, this anime just gets better, and with this mysterious lore, it just makes everything more interesting. If you liked it, leave a like, hype the video, and hit the bell so you don't miss any of the channel's questionable There are more videos in the description, so thanks for the constant support, and later.